Does Bronny James have what it takes to be an NBA player? I spent an entire summer traveling all over the country to watch just about every single one of Bronny's EYBL games, and I'm here to answer that question. Bronny is currently ranked as the 34th best player in the class of 2023. Some people think this ranking is too low, and others say that he's overrated and just benefits from the last name on his jersey. Despite your own opinion on Bronny, it's fair to say every single one of us have seen highlights of him in our feed. It's just inevitable at this point. If Bronny has an in-game dunk, it will be posted. If Bronny gets a chase down block, it will be posted. Honestly, if Bronny does something out in public, it will somehow find its way to be posted on social media. And that spotlight is going to continue to be on Bronny for as long as he plays the game. But the biggest question most people have at this time is, how good is Bronny James at basketball? Sure, we have all seen footage of him playing, but highlights never tell the full story. I mean, if we were only to look at highlights, Derrick Jones Jr. would be considered one of the best players in the NBA. There are so many people posting their opinion on Bronny, but it can be really difficult to figure out who to trust, not knowing who's actually watched him play. So I'm here to give you a full breakdown of Bronny's game, talk about the current status of his college recruitment, and answer the big question of, do I think he has what it takes to make it in the NBA? Without further ado, let's get straight into talking about Bronny as a player. When comparing him to the other guards in the 2023 class, the big thing that sets him aside is his defense. His physical gifts, feel for the game, and motor on that end of the court is extremely special. Bronny is very disruptive on the perimeter. He moves his feet so well and just always manages to stay in front. Bronny doesn't only have a defensive impact on the perimeter though, because he's got to be one of the best shot blocking guards high school basketball has ever seen. He had a block in almost every game we were at, and it was surreal seeing some signature James chase down blocks up close. Bronny is also a great rebounder. He anticipates misses well, and the impressive jumping ability he possesses allows him to get a ton of boards. Looking at Bronny defensively, there's just not a lot to critique at this given moment. He clearly is a natural defender who has a valid argument for the best defensive guard in high school basketball currently. So now let's talk about Bronny's offensive game. Bronny does have limitations on offense. He's not going to wow you with off-balance pull-up fadeaways. We definitely saw him miss a lot of these shots this summer. He is capable of hitting the shot, no doubt, but his selection in this area of the floor could use some improvement. Bronny also didn't find as much success as a slasher as I expected. I assumed his impressive 40+ inch vertical strength and quickness would allow him to be an elite finisher, but that just wasn't the case in some of the games we watched. He settled for floaters a lot. While I'd like to see him attack more, him settling for the floater wasn't always a bad thing. Bronny showed a very nice touch on that shot with both his left and right hand, but I just know Bronny has the potential to be a dominant finisher if he was more aggressive in attacking. I mean, he showed incredible flashes like this dunk in transition during his trip to Europe. While there might be some things lacking in Bronny's offensive game, there are a ton of things that show tremendous promise. Number one, he's got a great feel and has the ability to control a game as a point guard. He's a very good passer that creates offense in transition and makes good reads out of the pick and roll. Just taking a look at some of these clips, it's clear Bronny took a lot of playmaking genes from his pops. Number two, he is a natural shooter who finds great success from behind the arc. We watched Bronny connect on a ton of threes. He proved to be effective off the dribble as well as catch and shoot. Taking a closer look at his form in slow motion, we can see he has nice mechanics on the jumper, a quick and high release, and he is not afraid to pull up from deep or in a defender's mouth. And number three, the physical gifts Bronny possesses are simply incredible. We're talking about a 6'3" strong point guard who has a 40+ inch vertical and a crazy amount of quickness. If Bronny can effectively utilize these physical tools, I can only imagine how elite of a player he will become offensively. An NBA scout said he's proving to be more than just a name and impacts the game positively, whether that's making the extra pass on offense or dropping down for loose balls in the post on defense. Another NBA scout said he's a hell of a defender, and you can see he's starting to grow into his body a little more. So summarizing the pros, Bronny is a great outside scorer, a phenomenal playmaker with a great IQ, one of the best defensive and rebounding guards I have seen in high school, and his physical tools show enormous all-around potential. And to summarize the cons, Bronny can lack aggressiveness getting all the way to the rim and isn't the best shot creator in the mid-range. It is undeniable that Bronny is one of the best guards in all of high school basketball going into this upcoming season, which makes a lot of people wonder what he is going to do post-high school. Originally, many had speculated he would go straight to professional basketball just like his dad, but LeBron and Savannah confirmed to Sports Illustrated that Bronny is leaning towards the collegiate route. So at this point, it's safe to say Bronny will be in a college uniform in 2023, setting up for the most intriguing recruitment maybe ever. Now, there has been a ton of speculation and fake news hinting at the frontrunner to land Bronny, but LeBron set the record straight with this tweet saying when Bronny makes his decision, you will hear it from him. On3 reported that the frontrunners are expected to be Ohio State, because of course LeBron is from Ohio and went on the record saying he would have gone there if he went to college. UCLA and USC, because the James family lives in LA currently and Bronny goes to high school there. Oregon, because of LeBron's ties to Nike. Michigan, because of LeBron's friendship with Juwan Howard. And Memphis, because of LeBron's friendship with Penny Hardaway. But if I had to pick just one school, I would guess Ohio State is the current frontrunner. Just a month after LeBron put out that tweet, Bronny took his first official visit to Ohio State and posted some pictures of him in some Buckeyes threads on Instagram. It was clear OSU fans were loving this visit. Just listen closely to the stadium when Bronny was at one of their football games.
We want Bronny! We want Bronny!
That right there is insane. The likelihood of Bronny playing collegiate basketball is looking like 100%, but playing in the NBA one day, most people don't know. Which brings us back to the big question. Do I think Bronny James has what it takes to make it in the NBA? My answer to that is yes. I'm confident Bronny has what it takes to make it in the NBA one day. He has already shown an advanced game as a high school point guard, and I can only imagine his stock jumping during his last year of high school. With Amari Bailey at UCLA, Bronny is going to have a bigger role at Sierra Canyon, which I think is going to be perfect for his development. He's going to be Sierra Canyon's top guy, competing in one of the toughest basketball conferences, and I'm expecting a big senior season out of him. As for college, I think his play style is going to fit in with whatever program he chooses. Bronny has a play style college coaches drool over, and he will provide immediate impact for whichever team he decides to take his talents to. I think Bronny projects as a late first-round draft pick right now and will prove to everyone that he has NBA level talent regardless of the last name on his jersey. His three-point shooting will translate. His defense will translate. His playmaking, physical gifts, and dominance in transition will translate. Unlike his father, Bronny will likely have to be an elite pick-and-roll player during his career. But with everything I've seen out of Bronny, I think that's something he's going to embrace. That is going to do it for the video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and smash that notification button if you enjoyed. Also, make sure to check out our most recent Where Are They Now video if you want to know whatever happened to Julian Newman's biggest rival, Jathan Bosch. As always, thank you so much for the support. We will see you in the next one.